Good morning. Welcome to the forecast discussion for May 25th, 2016. It's 8:40 a.m. and we are warming up very nicely throughout the northern mid-Atlantic, well on our way to temperatures pushing into the mid to upper 80s, possibly even a few lower 90s in the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan areas, especially around Philadelphia itself and Newark. Newark is where we usually get our warmest temperatures, where you get the airport, it's pretty close to sensors, you get all that concrete, so definitely temperatures have a chance to spike in those locations. We have a wind from the southwest at around 5 miles per hour, and it is absolutely clear out for the first time in weeks. Not a cloud cover in the sky, not a cloud in the sky, should I say, with clear skies and high pressure right overhead. So that means we don't have to look at the radar today because, well, there's nothing really going on. You could use the radar, though, later on this afternoon to see if we get a sea breeze right along the New Jersey coast. That's usually fun to take a look at. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty quiet day and very warm. And the good news is that the dew points are going to be in the 50s, which means that for the most part, by the time we get to this afternoon, while it will be very warm out, it'll also be dry out. So it won't feel as bad as it could when you get into the middle of the summer and you have temperatures in the upper 80s and dew points in the upper 60s. That's when it feels really uncomfortable. So today won't be that bad as far as being uncomfortable. Certainly the first day with temperatures this warm in quite some time is definitely going to be noted by many, especially if you have to wear a three-piece suit. Not the best weather conditions for that type of attire. On the infrared satellite picture, it's very key as far as the impacts on the weather pattern going forward over the next couple of days. Now, clearly today and tomorrow it's going to be warm. It's going to be temperatures in the 80s, above normal. No doubt about that. The question is for this weekend on through early next week, how does this departing upper level low interact with the pattern in the northern Atlantic? The interaction of this upper level low with this cold front here is going to be key in determining whether or not we have a backdoor cold front or not. If we have a backdoor cold front, you're talking about temperatures in the 70s. If you have a backdoor cold front held up in New England, you're in the mid to upper 80s. You're talking about a 10 to 20 degree swing in your high temperature forecast, depending on the evolution of the pattern going forward. So right now, high pressure is in complete control. We have clear skies, comfortable weather conditions, and it's going to feel rather nice. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if most people run to the beach starting today, kind of get a jump on that Memorial Day weekend celebration. So here is the forecast. For today, clear skies, comfortable weather conditions, temperatures in the mid to upper 80s for most locations, a few lower 90s are possible throughout the Philadelphia metro and also the New York City metro, especially around Newark. For this evening, clear skies are expected. Winds from the southwest around 5 to 10 miles per hour. By tomorrow morning, look for lows in the mid to upper 60s. And for tomorrow afternoon, this is where it gets interesting. Okay, so tomorrow afternoon, this cold front tries to dip south. Could be a few isolated showers or thunderstorms, but for the most part, we're going to remain dry. This frontal boundary stalls out. Look for high temperatures on Friday, right? On Thursday, to rebound into the mid-80s. But if this front pushes a little bit further south, New York City, you could seriously remain in the mid to upper 70s. For right now, though, it looks like this will remain north, and we stay in the 80s, and all that cool air stays up in New England. For Friday, the frontal boundary rebounds as a warm front. Now, beforehand, this frontal boundary was forecasted to be here. Now it's up here. Okay, this is a volatile forecast. If this warm front remains further south, we're talking about a much cooler forecast. But for now, we're looking for generally scattered cloud cover and isolated showers possible. Look for lows in the mid 60s, highs in the lower to mid 80s. Now, I'm pointing out this frontal boundary for one very key reason. While we're going with the warm forecast, I want you to be aware of the volatility involved here, so you're not caught off guard if you wake up on Friday morning and it's cloudy and you end up with temperatures in the 70s and 60s all day. You'll know why, and you'll be able to blame this frontal boundary as a result. So we move to Saturday. Saturday, again, same scenario. You got this stationary front to the north of us, over towards the Gulf of Maine. And the idea here is that high pressure will be in control, the frontal boundaries further north, and as a result, you end up with temperatures in the mid to upper 60s for lows and lower to mid 80s for highs. Keep an eye on this disturbance here. Could be a tropical low pressure system. This could add moisture pushing up the coast. Currently not being forecasted, but it is a threat, and that's why there's a 50% potential of a tropical low pressure system development around the southeast coast, and that could influence cloud cover and some precipitation that is currently not forecasted for Saturday. On Sunday, here comes our backdoor cold front. We have this low pressure system along the coast, so certainly unsettled conditions along the southeast coast. How that moisture trains northward will have to be watched very carefully. And of course, how far south this backdoor cold front gets on Sunday will have to be watched very carefully. Currently, we're forecasting temperatures in the mid 60s for lows and lower to mid 80s for highs. If this backdoor cold front pushes further south, knock those temperatures down for highs by 10 to 15 degrees. So this right here is going to be a major factor for Sunday. On Memorial Day, same scenario here. Now you got this area of low pressure along the coast. We're not sure of the exact development, but clearly there's lower pressure along the east coast here with this somewhat tropical development. We'll keep an eye on this. How that moisture streams northward is still an uncertainty. And you have your backdoor cold front here. Now in this case, yesterday it was further south. Today it's kind of broken up, okay, on the model guidance. High pressure is over the Canadian Maritimes. Keep an eye on this evolution here. For Memorial Day, currently we're looking at lows in the mid 60s, highs in the upper 70s to lower 80s along the coast, lower to mid 80s in the Delaware River Valley. The evolution of this feature and this feature here, though, creates a lot of uncertainty in the terms of cooler temperatures and the potential for more showers in the forecast than what's currently in the forecast now. So you can kind of see where all this volatility is setting up and why I'm just kind of giving you a heads up that, hey, it might end up being cooler and wetter than what we're currently forecasting now. On Tuesday, that backdoor cold front is pushed farther north because this strong cold front approaching from the west will drive a nice strong southwesterly wind. We'll have to continue to watch to see what happens with this tropical development here. We're looking for temperatures in the mid 60s for lows, upper 70s to lower 80s for highs, with the potential for a few scattered showers. On Wednesday, a cold front will start to approach the region. Look for scattered showers and thunderstorms. Lows in the mid 60s, highs in the lower to mid 80s. And then this frontal boundary drops south and it gets much cooler again as we move forward as we start June. So a very interesting weather pattern, one that's highly volatile. I kind of give you all the potentials here as far as what to look for as we head towards the holiday weekend. Hopefully we'll be able to iron this out over the next 2 days. But at least for now, you get the idea that, yes, there's a good potential we'll be in the 80s all the way through this weekend. But you also know there's an equal potential that could end up being a lot wetter and a lot cooler depending on the evolution of a couple of features. That's your forecast discussion for today. Thank you for following NYNJPA Weather. And as always, stay safe out there.